What up, good people? What you gonna do with technology, man? What you gonna do with technology? Y'all give me a quick second, because now I gotta copy this link and send it to some good people. And I gotta close the old link. All right, so people are not over there waiting and things like that. So I'm gonna make that one private. Give me 2 seconds, guys, and I appreciate y'all rocking with me. I appreciate you guys, man, coming on over. So let me go ahead and close this one off. Let's make it private. Then I'll go back and delete it later. But 2 seconds, man. But how's everybody doing? I hope you guys are well. And if you guys can give me the virtual thumbs up, the won't, let me know you guys can hear me loud and clear. I'm about to send myself this link so I can disperse it to a few special people. And I do see that we have somebody in the queue already. So phone call area 330. If you can also confirm in the chat that you are hearing me, be greatly appreciated there. But like I said, guys, give me 2 seconds. Let's make sure everything is streaming. I would like to say getting off without a hitch, right? But we already got the hitch. All right, so 2 seconds, man. I promise y'all, I'm not going to take long. But again, how's everybody doing tonight, man? You guys still riding high on that win? And boy, did you guys watch that game last night. We're going to talk about that a little bit as well. Interesting. All right, I got the link. Yeah, let me grab it, man, because what I like to do now, and hopefully you guys can help me out with this as well. You know, I like to grab the link and share it on, some Steeler groups on Facebook. You know, no shame in my game. I admit, yeah, man, I'm trying to grow. You know, I'm trying to get this thing a little bigger, man. You know, I like what we do over here, and I say we because you guys are most definitely a part of that. I like what we do over here, man, and yeah, I want to grow. Why not? We all will grow together. All right, almost done, guys. Almost done. Just hang in there. If you're new to the channel, when you're dealing with live production, guys, every now and then things, hiccups happen. For whatever reason, my software did not recognize my first stream link. So what I might start doing actually going forward, I might just start creating it directly instead of letting it create automatically. And that way we won't run into this problem, because I was able to fix it very quickly, as you guys were able to gather there. All right, guys, I'm almost done. I got to send this link to father-in-law Leonard. And then I will formally say hello, and we'll get started. All right, and of course, let me just double check on my end that it's streaming. I believe we are rolling. Yeah, looks like we're rolling. All right, what's up, guys? Let's do the formal introduction. Welcome to the latest episode, latest edition, whatever you want to call it, of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, live from the Still Basement, aka the virtual Heinz Field. So I hope everyone is doing well tonight. And like we always do, we're going to say hello to the first commenters. And again, I thank you guys so much, man, for the audible. You guys came right over. It lets me know that not only, are you rocking with me, but you got your notifications on. So you knew there was a new stream rocking. And let's get it. Jared Devil, Banoa Johnson, Lee Sharp, Vista Light. Hello, Miss Odessa. How you doing this evening? Who is this? Champagne the Dawn. Okay. That's a new name. I don't think I've seen that one before. Hello, Miss Lanisha. How you doing this evening? Always got to say hello to the lovely ladies. Deron Smith, I believe you are 330. There's a couple of you guys that are 330, but I think it might be you. So, hopefully you'll say later on if you're able to hear me, if that is you. Mark Stewart, what's going on? Double T, Dietrich Bundick. Good brother Real Facts is in the building. My brother Kenyon, of course, in the building. Robert Westover. Brent Fox. Who else we got? Lydell Dorsey. Charlie Brown. Womp, 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 womp. Destiny, hello, Miss Destiny. How you doing this evening, Miss Lady? How you doing? Storm Woodside. Who else we got in here? Ernest Grace. Day the Kid Music. All right, that's a new one, I think. I don't know if I've seen that name before. I see you guys virtual thumbs up in there. So let's go on and keep it moving. Hello, Miss Debbie, our resident, let's say auntie. I'm not gonna say mother because that's a no-no. You don't you don't say stuff like that to women, and you don't speak of their ages and things like that. But Debbie has an auntie vibe, like that cool aunt, the one that you hang out with. So we're gonna call her the resident auntie of Terrible Towel Tuesday and SteelerNation. We all love Debbie around here. So how you doing, Debbie? How you doing this evening? All right, man, let's get into it. So, quick, fast, and in a hurry, man. I'm going to get my thoughts in and out of the way. Like I told you guys, tonight will be about you guys, the phone calls. Taking as many phone calls as I can. I may or may not get to all of them. We'll try. Like I said, this show is generally a little more longer than others. No longer will I be doing, and I'm so upset about this, guys, but it was almost like I predicted it, right? A foreshadowing, if you will. I said I wouldn't be doing the all 22 breakdowns that we all had grown accustomed to. Number one reason was because the NFL would hit me for copyrights, and they wouldn't get me a flag, but they would monetize my channel. The NFL, picture that, right? They would monetize that video because their content is on it. So I said I wasn't going to do that anymore. But lo and behold, I find out that all of a sudden I'm noticing that all 22 is not even available with Game Pass currently, not domestically. Shout outs to Alex Kazor. He advised me that it is available internationally if you buy the international version. And notice I said buy. I'm not about to do that. It's about principle. I am not about to buy another subscription for the international version in order for me to get a feature that came with the original domestic version. It's just about principle for me. Now, I understand why Alex Kazor and the Dave Bryant and Steelers Depot crew would do that. That's what they do for a living. You know what I'm saying? I don't. So I'm not about to pay for another subscription to Game Pass. What I did do is, I tried to use my voice as power. I sent a tweet to the NFL earlier today, and I'm gonna keep doing it daily until somebody responds. This is ridiculous. Either give me my feature, or I need a free subscription for the international version because I pay for it for all 22. So not only can I not show my lovely family here on video because you want to monetize when I do it, but now you don't even give me the feature. Nah, it ain't going down like that. Ain't going down like that. So tonight and for the foreseeable future, Tuesdays will be more dedicated to you guys, phone calls, and I'll let you guys, get your opinions and your thoughts and all of that off. All right, so let's go. I'm going to give you my quick thoughts, man, from what I saw on a rewatch of the game. And again, I hate that I don't have an all 22 account that I could give you guys. I was only left with being able to watch really, just the TV view again, but at least I was able to watch a condensed version. A couple things I would talk about before that, man. Mike Tomlin, he did say that there were no significant injuries from the Sunday's game. He expects Robert Spillane to be back. And he said we will let his participation be the guide on whether or not he gets back. The only thing else that I really took from, his press conference was kind of the same thing he said post-game. He was very proud of, the adversity that the team faced, and I agree with that. Offensively, we really didn't get it going early. We really didn't. Second half was kind of a different story. It wasn't like they balled out, but in the second half, it showed some promise. If you guys notice, I always try to, in my thumbnail, I usually focus on someone for a reason. And a lot of times in my title, that's generally the meat and potatoes of the discussion. And of course, you guys see the title there. Will the Steelers offensive line get better? And I pose that as a question to you guys, and then I will take the angle that I'm going to take as far as what I saw. in the second half. Let's see, what else do I got? Tomlin talking about the Raiders. And, I'm going to save that for the pregame, but I definitely watched that game last night. It was perfect. Give me the opportunity to not only scout our next upcoming opponent, but also take a peek at the Ravens, man, seeing that, decimated with injury. I do feel bad for them. I know some people are going to say, oh, man, forget them. They're Ravens. They're the, division rivals. And I get all of that. But at the end of the day, listen, I'm an athlete, former athlete, if you will. I'm always going to have, a place in my heart for athletes. I hate to see guys get injured. I like competition. It sucks when people are not full strength, if you will, because, steel sharpens steel, right? You want to see us compete against the best. So let's just say we were able to make our way to the Super Bowl, whatever season, you would hope that they're battle tested. So I'm not really the fan of saying, good, they're out, that guy's out now. I'll take it. I ain't no fool now. I'll take it. If somebody's injured, yeah, that's a part of the game. So I'll take your unfortunate handicap, because there's an injury, no problem, because that's a part of the game, because it definitely happens to the Steelers too, right? But at the same time, I'm not going to say anything crazy about the Ravens. That sucks, man. Them dudes are getting, wow, that's crazy. So, I wanted to see kind of how they looked without their full complement of their starting running backs. And I wanted to see, really wanted to see Le'Veon Bell. I was hoping Le'Veon Bell would have been active last night. He wasn't. It was more so that young kid they got, Tyson Williams. He looks like he got a little pep to him, man, a little speed to him. Latavius Murray as well. I don't know the other kid, Cannon. Not familiar with him at all. But listen, man, Lamar Jackson is still Lamar Jackson. And what I see out of Lamar, again, each year, it looks like he's becoming a much better passer. Can I say he's a great passer at the moment? I don't know. I mean, I haven't studied it like that, but he definitely is able to do more things than he once was able to do. I don't think we can really say, let's make Lamar beat us with his arm because, maybe his decision making might not be as great in terms of when he should throw or take off, but he made some throws in that game last night. And I was like, whoa, the touchdown to Hollywood Brown when he scrambled out and bought some time and, pinpoint accurate. You know what I mean? He made a couple of throws down the seam that was nice. So I kind of wanted to see what they had. I also wanted to see, and I'm going to talk about him. Y'all already know who I'm going to talk about. Oh, yeah, Little Al will get talked about here in a moment. But I really wanted to see the Raiders because I'm going to tell you right now, again, this is just early concern. We'll save, really my thoughts for the pregame. I want to see how we're going to defend Darren Waller. I really want to see how we defend him because the main thing that stuck out to me in Tomlin's press conference today was when he said, listen, you can't compare that guy to any tight end that we have on our roster. He's more of a Claypool, more of a Chase Claypool than anything else. And I'm just saying, we viewing him like that. You obviously saw what he did when he got it going last night. If you've been watching football, you know what he's been able to do in prior seasons. You know his stature, you know his strength. It makes me question, how are we going to defend him? Which way will we do it? There were a couple times last night that there was some bracket coverage. There was a few times that happened where they keep a guy underneath, keep a guy over the top. But again, even in the second half, they were able to get Waller loose. So it's going to be interesting to see how we approach that. We cannot forget a guy like Henry Ruggs with his speed. Henry Ruggs really got to show me a little more, though. I need to see him before I'm fearing him. I need to really see. And listen, I don't watch the Raiders, so I could be dead wrong here. But from the games that I have seen him play, I don't necessarily see him as a guy who's attacking the ball or even a great route runner, in my opinion. And maybe that's just the way they're using him. Bottom line, he doesn't scare me yet. Renfro, we're going to have to keep our eyes on him. You know, he's looking real shifty in the slot. So, again, I don't want to spend too much time on the pregame aspect of that. You know, I have a dedicated show for that. But I will say I will be very interested in seeing how we defend Waller, especially after Tomlin compares him to more of a Chase Claypool type. So that is going to be interesting. Now, let's talk about a couple things that I noticed in that game. Let me take a sip of water first. I'm going to give my good brother, my fellow Aries, one of my partners in crime, a round of applause. Round of applause. Let me make sure it's playing. It is. I'm going to give Kenyon a round of applause because I remember when the draft happened, and Kenyon was very vocal about saying, there's no way I draft Alex Leatherwood that high. Is it Leatherwood? Leatherwood, right? I think that's his name. But y'all know who I'm talking about. Kid from Alabama. Kenyon was specifically saying, oh man, the Raiders being the Raiders, John Gruden being John Gruden, no way. And boy, he had kind of a tough time. You know, a couple penalties. Boy had a couple pretty rough time last night. And it kind of just reminded me of Kenyon saying, you don't take him. You don't take him that early. And boy, was Kenyon right last night. Have mercy, have mercy. Now let's flip to the other side of the ball. And this is where I'm going to have a little fun. There's this guy that the Pittsburgh Steelers once had. Big boy. I mean, when I first seen this guy and found out that they were going to try him out at left tackle, heard about him being an Army Ranger, and I was like, whoa, this dude is 6'9", 6'8", 6'9". Good gracious. That's a big boy. I used to call him Big Al. Excuse me. I used to call him Big Al. Right? Play a couple seasons. He looking like he all right. I was like, yo, Big Al all right with me. First thing we wanted to know, will he be able to bend? How will he be able to deal with guys that can get under him and leverage and yada, yada, yada. Come to find out, Big Al had a couple seasons where we all was like, you know what, we found one. We lucked up and found a left tackle. Then, over the last few seasons, you guys start hearing me call him Lil Al. And why was I doing that? Because I said Lil Al is playing very small right now. He's not living up to that big moniker, that big stature. If you like me, you've done this in some point of your lifetime. You ever be in the mall or just some random place and you see this giant dude, whether he has girth or whether he's just tall, and you be like, he's just tall for nothing. He's big for nothing. Y'all know what I'm saying. Look at this. It's big for nothing. Boy ain't never played a sport. He just big for no reason. Lil Al started looking like that to me later on in his Steeler career. I'm just like, yo, come on, man. You too big to be getting, you just too big for that. With all due respect, because the man was an Army Ranger. So I dare not say that he's soft or anything like that. But I'm just saying, on the football field, you started to not look that great. So then, game last night, and I'm looking at this dude at right tackle getting abused. Boy, he got his butt kicked. Big time. Big time. He got his tail whipped all night by my man Crosby. And what was he whipping him with? Spin move. Spin move was giving him all kinds of problems. Saw a couple times where power was giving him problems, but that spin move, holy moly guacamole. Wow. I mean, he got his tail kicked. And I started doing this. Because I started remembering we have TJ Watt, Melvin Gordon, Oh, excuse me. Melvin Ingram. Sorry, Melvin. I mean, y'all did play on the same team. My bad. Melvin Ingram. Alex Highsmith, what have we seen him develop this season? You guessed it. Spin move. And I jokingly said to Kenya, shoot, man, a couple times in the game when we played him, I might put a Highsmith on that side. Let him whip him with the spin. Whip him with the spin. I know, guys. Let's get to the Steelers stuff. But I just wanted to talk about that, man, because boy, oh boy. We all said, most of us was like, what is he going to do with the Ravens? Especially at right tackle. And did he show you last night? And Crosby is nice, but come on, man. I'm just saying, if Crosby has skills, but if he did that, just imagine what a dude like TJ going to do to him. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. And yeah, Rajon, you're right. I do worry about him against Chooks. So let's get into it. All right, let's get into it, guys, but I don't want to spend too much time on me. It's already 23 minutes. Let me run through this stuff and we open up them phones. So here are a couple notes that I took. Like I said, man, I wish I was able to get all 22. Come on, NFL. Y'all playing, man. Y'all are tripping right now. Y'all are bugging. But this is what I got. It looked like the Bills had a left return set up on that opening kickoff. Do I know that for a fact? No, because that could very, very well have been a middle return that was kind of shifted on the fly. But needless to say, it looked like a left return because, boy, was it a wall. I mean, if you have a chance to go back and look at it, it was a wall, my goodness, a wall of blockers. And all homeboy had to do was just run, and it's, so they got us on that play, man. I watched it a few times over and it was like, yeah, man, nobody had a chance at him. Really, nobody had a chance at him until the dude was past the 50-yard line. And thank goodness for guys like, even though he got blocked, James Pierre was getting blocked and backpedaling at the same time, but was in the play enough to make McKenzie have to cut inside, right? And guys like Cam Sutton was on McKenzie's right side. But then you got UG3 hustling, not giving up on the play, makes the tackle, saves the touchdown. And that came up to be a very huge, critical part of the game. Why? Because most of the time when something happens like that on the opening kickoff or first drive period, when you're just speaking in reference to big play, usually the offense scores a touchdown. They did not. Steelers defense came out there and locked it down, held them to 3, and that was huge. Not only was it huge for the game itself in terms of the score, but it was huge as a momentum factor. Because if they get a touchdown right there, now everybody's a little deflated. Whoa, we got punched in the mouth. Instead, we still got punched in the mouth, but we shook it off, got a couple jabs in. We caught them with a little uppercut real quick and made them back up and say, whoa, okay, we're going to have to just settle for 3. So we was very resilient right there. But again, you got to credit a guy like UG3, man, because listen, he could have easily given up on that play and McKenzie may very well score. Who knows if Cam Sutton gets him. So that was great. Let's see what else did I have. Cam Sutton, speaking of him, man, on that drive. I wrote it right here. And if you guys are wondering what I'm looking at, I have my notes right here on the computer screen. I said Cam Sutton has a great reaction time, man. And it showed up quite a few times in this game. But this one was on that first drive at the 14-minute and 15-second mark. The way he broke off of his coverage and came up and took the underneath route to tackle right there at the line. And I saw a whole lot of that, man. Cam Sutton's reaction time looked very good in this game. Was there a time or two where he may have given up a catch or so? Of course. It happens to the best of them. I mean, James Pierre gave up a catch or two, but then James Pierre made a critical play on Emmanuel Sanders, who was running, up the seam. Well, kind of running out, kind of along the hash on that side, because I think on that play, I want to say they were in bunch or trips to the left. I don't remember if it was bunch or not, but I believe it was trips over there. And, James Pierre playing on the outside, he saw the ball thrown, he broke off of whoever was on the outside and came in and was able to knock that ball away. Excellent play. And again, that's what you want to see out of cornerbacks, man. It's not always about getting interceptions. It's not always about, getting a PBU every single game or every single play. To me, that's gonna come as long as you stay on your keys, right? You stay in your technique. That stuff is gonna come. But you're always in position, and if you don't make the play, you're able to tackle the catch. And like I said, if you go back and look at that play, man, when Emmanuel Sanders was running, pretty much caught it. James Pierre comes over his back and knocks that ball out right on time for an incompletion. And the funny thing is, half second later, that may have been a fumble. So those are the things I look for, man, with defenders, whether it's a safety or a corner. How engaged are they in the game? How close are they to the play? Do they tackle the catch? Because again, sometimes highlight watchers, as I call those fans, all you see is catches or no catches, touchdown or no touchdown, and that's how you judge the game. You cannot do that. You have to look at play after play after play and see what's transpiring. But again, Cam Sutton was already showing himself, man, on the first drive by the Bills. Next up, speaking of Emmanuel Sanders, I wanted to talk about, I'm scruffy, guys. I can't wait to get to the barber shop this week. I know y'all don't care about that, right? But when you see yourself, you kind of just say, oh. Y'all know I like to clown around. But next up, man, Trey Norwood, he almost gave up a touchdown to Emmanuel Sanders, right? Now, from the TV view, it looked like cover 3 with Minka buzzing. Minka did a lot of that too in this game, man. I didn't really pay attention to that in real time, but there was a lot of times when Minka was playing down, right? And a lot of times they was putting Trey Norwood back. But on this particular play, again, from the TV view, it looked like cover 3. Minka was buzzing. The outside corners are obviously, playing their deep thirds or what have you, keeping their eyes on the quarterback. And in my opinion, again, I don't claim to know each and everything about football. Do I have football knowledge and acumen? I sure do. I've watched football my entire life, but I have played football for a good portion of my life. So, and I played in the secondary. I played as a running back. I also played strong safety. So I generally know some things. Now, I don't know things on the NFL level. I absolutely do not. But my point is this. I even made a notation of this. It was trips right by the Bills. They had 3 receivers to the right, 1 solo receiver on the left side of the offense. And in that situation, I felt like even though Norwood was kind of lined up in between like the middle guy, like the slottish guy out of that trips. And, if you understand cover 3, you know what his responsibility technically should have been. I felt like in that scenario, you cannot allow Sanders to blow past you. You cannot do that. And actually, let me see if any of you guys make any notations here in the comments, whether you guys could tell. But I believe that was a cover 3. All right, I don't see anybody referring to it. And like I said, man, if I had the all 22, I could really make the determination because I could see the entire field. See, I can't see what everyone is doing, but again, it looked like a cover 3 to me from by the time the receivers got to like the second level, looking at what the corners and safeties was doing, looking at what Minka was doing. You cannot allow Emmanuel Sanders to blow past you, Mr. Norwood. I want to call you in the office, but you're a rookie. You're a rookie. You probably didn't expect to play the amount of snaps that you played, especially playing nickel in some of those scenarios early in the game. Man, can't do that. Even if you're not going to run with the vertical, You know, because a lot of times, guys, even zone coverage turns into man coverage depending on the depth of the route and recognizing the situation. Like, there's nobody underneath. So what you probably should do in that scenario, even if you're playing more inside and you're not on the outside, you can't let that dude blow past you, right? You have to run with him. And if you're not going to run with him, you either push him inside if you're playing tight enough on the line, or you carry him further than you did, because you have to understand you only have one single high, who was Terrell Edmonds, ended up being a single high in that situation. So again, you have to recognize the situation. This is trips, right? So you can't just, go to your normal zone depth in that situation, because if that guy that you lined up over is coming at you and he runs a straight vertical route, you better get deep, get more depth, or you better turn that into man so you can help the single safety back there. Luckily enough, Josh Allen's arm is stronger than even he knows. And the ball sails over Emmanuel Sanders' head. That was a touchdown, folks. That was a touchdown. And don't get it twisted. Norwood played a pretty solid game, man, to me. Let me see if anybody... Yeah, okay. All right, Ernest, that's what I thought. Ernest said it was covered. Yeah, it looked like cover 3 to me, just off of the TV view. But yeah, and those things that come with repetition, you just have to recognize, because even if you looked at the replay during the game, you saw that Norwood was just backpedaling and he was giving up like kind of the inside, and then he didn't turn to run until Sanders basically was past him. So that's what I'm saying. So even your intention was to get depth, and you kind of was playing, even though you were in a cover 3, you were kind of treating that as it like a trail. That's what I'm saying, dog. If you're going to do that, you got to get on your horse. You can't allow him to get even with you before you even take off. You cannot do that, knowing that you only got one safety in the back. Because just imagine if the number 1 receiver goes on a vertical route. Now, in that case, it's just outside corner and one safety. And we really compromise then, because what if he runs like a deep comeback or something like that? Which you don't always see that from that slot position, but it's possible. You know what I'm saying? Or what if he sits down in the zone? We got a donation, man. So shout outs to Lee Sharp. Let me interrupt myself and read that. Thank you very much. He says, let's move some props on his blocking. Oh, I'm going to get there. One play, he took a defender to the front row of the seat. And yeah, he kind of looked like your boy. He kind of looked like, what's my man's name, on The Blind Side when he did that. Oh, man, shout outs to Lee Sharp. And also, super round of applause to Brent Fox for becoming a member of the channel. Man, listen, let me explain really quick too what you guys will get with that. Number 1, and I don't know if this would be important to Brent, because Brent, you're always here most of the time live. The first thing is I will always re-upload these shows for members only with no monetization, which means there would be no ads. Also, if enough of you guys do that, then maybe that will be the way, whenever it becomes available, that might be the way that I would be able to still do all 22, where it would be, if I'm being brutally honest, worth my time to do it. Because, talking and making videos and stuff might seem easy to some, but it's work. It's time out of your day. So my goal would be, maybe that would be a members only type of thing, that I would break down the footage, and there's a way I can do that without monetizing, and I could still quote unquote be compensated some type of way. And also, for you guys who are into gaming, you guys will have the opportunity for private streams, whatever you want to see me play. I will do that as members. What I like to do, what some of you guys don't know, let me just go off the rail for a quick second. I'm a sports guy, y'all know that, but I play a lot of games, man. I play a lot of adventure games and things like that. So I plan on having like custom content like that, allowing you guys to see me in a different light in some custom videos. So that's what you're pretty much getting. And I even will allow you guys to tell me some things y'all want to see that will be only for members. Oh man, Mariana Papa, round of applause. Another family member. Definitely appreciate that, man. You guys are too kind tonight, man. Too kind. But yeah, let me get back to what I was saying, man, because again, I want to get to the phone calls, and I'm going to give you guys your time to talk. What was I talking about? Norwood. Come on, Norwood. I like seeing you out there. I think Norwood could end up turning into a little steal for us. It's good to see him getting playing time, and it's good to see that the coaching staff is entrusting in him, so that's great. That is great. What else do I got in my notes, guys? Let's talk offensive line. First of all, offensive line actually did a great job on that screen to Deontay Johnson. In fact, Trey Turner blew up Tremaine Edmonds. I mean, pancaked him. Good to see. Now, the rest of the first half wasn't that good for our offensive line. What did I see that I didn't like? Trey Turner sometimes was getting spun around. Trey Turner sometimes was trying to cut block and he missed. I saw Kendrick Green also have some struggles in regards to power. That's going to be his Achilles heel, man. He's going to have to fix it. Oh, man. Round of applause to Miss Odessa for the donation. You guys are too kind, I swear. Thank you, Miss Odessa. You guys are too much, man. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have no idea. But yeah, man. Kendrick Green, like I said, right after the game and after watching the game, I still feel the same way. And I'm going to preface this by saying first half because I saw some better things out of our O-line in that second half. But Kendrick Green is going to have to find a way to come up with a better anchor. And what I mean by that is, listen, when guys kind of show certain traits in college, by the time you get to the college level, can you develop certain things? Sure. But at that point, if you're playing in college D1, you're an NFL prospect, a lot of what you do is ingrained in you. Some of your physical skills are what they're going to be. Now, can you get stronger, maybe bigger? Sure. Sometimes guys can get a wee bit faster, but as far as what you're not good at is not going to necessarily do a 180 once you get into the NFL. It ain't but so much teaching you can do. We saw in college that sometimes he could get overpowered. We saw guys that can, bull rush, if you will, or dudes who just have straight up brute strength can push him back. And it just is what it is. There was another number 53 that used to happen to who was kind of similar to the size of Kendrick Green, a little bit taller, but as far as body size, roughly the same. His name was Marquise Pouncey. Marquise Pouncey, believe it or not, some of you guys may not agree with this, but he's probably going to be a Hall of Famer at some point, right? But we saw numerous times when Pouncey was pushed in Ben's lap, and that just was his game. That was just him. That was just, he wasn't, like my pops would say, he was light in the you-know-what. You know what I mean? Boy was a little light in the hampons, as grandma would say. But it is what it is, But he still ended up being a great player. What Pouncey did, he was smart. He could move. And we're seeing all of that from Kendrick Green already. You see that boy on that end around? The wind back play, if you will. And not only just him. I know people try to get on him for saying he didn't make the block, but he did enough to get in the way. Like, he allowed Claypool probably to get at least 15 more yards initially because Claypool was able to hunt and peck, and kind of decide where he wants to go while he's still running. And when a big man is moving that fast, And obviously the defender is just trying to get out of the way. I'm not going to hold that against him that he didn't officially make the block. But the fact that he was down there, remember how excited most of us were when we saw Pouncey do that for the first time? When Le'Veon Bell was running and Pouncey was in front of him, like down to the end zone. That type of stuff excites me about Kendrick Green and his tenacity and his nasty. He's going to have to temper it a little bit, because we saw it in the game. Even after him saying himself, yeah, I get a little, I'm an emotional player. Even when you recognize it and still can't control it, we're going to have to rein him in a little bit. And I think that's the reason why they took him out the game. At first, when I saw that, I text Kenyon and Tony because we texted during the game. I was like, yo, you think Kendrick Green got hurt or something? Or was he, I thought maybe he got subbed out because he was not doing that well. Eisenhower came in there for a few snaps, but then Green was back. So I think maybe they just pulled him to say, look, calm down, man, because he was getting testy out there. Weakest link, man, by far from what I saw is Chooks. And listen, I don't think this comes as a surprise to anybody. I really don't think it does. We said that last year. Okay, and listen, y'all know me, man. Listen, you are a Pittsburgh Steeler for however long you're on the team. I don't try to beat players up, but I just give my honest opinion. He hasn't shown us enough. He was a left tackle in college, and he plays right tackle for the Steelers, and he just hasn't been consistent. Now I'm gonna be honest, to throw Chooks a little partner in crime. There was some times out there where Trey Turner was looking just as bad. There were some times when I was like, oof. And that boy Oliver was eating out there for the Bills. Ed Oliver was going to work. He was punishing dude. I'm gonna tell y'all something else. Somebody that y'all know I love. There's a couple times that Kevin Dotson got his handed to him too now. There was a time or two that I saw for sure that Dotson was on the ground, bruh. But this is what I always say. Those dudes are professionals too. The Bills got a very solid defense. Them guys they was facing was some solid dudes. So it's not like that our O-line sucks. You understand what I'm saying? It's just that there's multiple things that is yet to be determined. It's game one. Chemistry has to be developed. We'll see. Speaking of that running play, man, at the end around, boy, that boy Fryer move. I mean, to see it in real time is one thing, but when you rewatch it, Fryer move took White clean off the field. Like I said, it reminded you of The Blind Side. Bruh, he took that dude into the bleachers. And I love that. Because what do we hear? And what we kept hearing about training camp and all that Clem and whoever's blocking, of course, Clem is the O-line coach, but just the attitude of the blocking and the run game is that you finish your blocks. And there's two people that I could tell you for sure that are new to the team that do that is Kendrick Green and Pat Freiermuth. Boy, because Kendrick Green had one of those too. I think it was the first quarter. He had one of those too. Number 24 from the Bills could tell you about it. Finish him. Push him down into the ground as the whistle blows. And I'm like, dog, I'm telling you, Kendrick Green is going to have his warts. He's going to have his weak spots. But if this offensive line can gel, because let's get to the second half. Let me give them a little bit of praise, man. They didn't play half bad in the second half. There was a couple runs there. I know it don't seem like it because the run game seemed bleak, right? Najee only had 46 yards, but think about those positive runs. And I challenge you guys, go look at those plays. To me, that's what the offensive line might be capable of doing. And there's going to be teams that's going to stop you. I mean, listen, that's just how it goes. There's going to be teams that's going to stop you. Teams with a solid front. It's not like we're going to run over on everybody, but look at each play. That play coming out of the second half, the 9-yard gain from Najee, There was another run later on in that quarter that he picked up like 6-7 yards. There was a few runs where he picked up 3 to 4 yards, which are positive runs, guys. And then the 18-yard run. That was a very nice run, and it was good blocking by everyone. Fryermuth, or was that Gentry? I can't remember who it was, coming down and getting like the crack block, and Najee picking his spot, bouncing outside. And what I love from Najee on that particular run, and you guys probably remember it, you see how he shift gears and he accelerated. Najee got some burst, bro. And I know it don't look like it because he's a big boy. But think about that play when the 18-yard run. Go look at how he changed gears when he got to the second level and almost split the defenders. So I just would tell you guys, man, and I was a little down in the first half too, but as you look at it, we got to understand this is a new offensive line. We also got to understand there's a couple pieces on the offensive line that has potential. They're young. Dan Moore is young, shows potential. Kendrick Green is young, shows potential. We love Kevin Dotson, has big potential. Let's give them some time to develop. And listen, if the O-line ends up being bad, then we'll reassess. But I would definitely tell you guys not to overreact in week one. and don't say that the Steelers can't run the ball. It's going to be just like last year after playing the Bills. Do y'all see how they was crowding that box? So that's all, man. Let's see what we do against the Raiders in the next week and the next week. You know, let's see. Let's get a good 4 or 5 games in, and then we can decide, okay, it looked like we ain't going to be able to run the football. I hope we're not saying that. But those positive runs, man, did show me that the potential of what they might be able to be, and still understanding that it might not be that on every single play. You understand? So just my thoughts. Was there anything else I had, guys? Then I'll get to the phone calls. Dan Moore. Remember the play when Ben got stripped? I analyzed that a little further. Initially, when I watched it in real time, and Leonard could contest to this, I turned to Leonard and said, come on, man, the rookie gave up that. Actually, it wasn't as bad as I thought, right? Left tackles are usually taught certain techniques based off of the way they're being rushed. The DN, or maybe he was outside backer, but whoever that was going up against him, basically rushed the outside. So most tackles are going to catch him and carry him around, like form that little pocket, push him to the outside, and most likely your quarterback will step up, make a throw. On that particular play, what happened was Dan Moore, even though the pass rusher did get up on him, so I don't like the fact that Dan Moore caught him, but, you know, sometimes some left tackles have that technique. They like to get set and catch you, you know, when you're rushing them. It is what it is. But I don't like the fact that he caught that. I would have liked to see him get more punch, but that was something that he showed in college as well, so it's not surprising. Maybe that's something he'll have to add to his arsenal. But he pushed him out, and if Ben steps straight in the pocket, he's got time because now the rusher is behind him. But what happened was Ben did his infamous pump fake, and then Ben decided to scramble to the right looking downfield. Meanwhile, this is where the pass rusher was being pushed to, gets behind Ben, boom, ball comes out. So it wasn't so much that Dan Moore got beat, because in my head, I kind of counted it. It was 4 seconds, right? And in the NFL, if you can hold somebody for 3, if the ball supposed to be out in 3. So Dan Moore didn't get beat on that. It's just that, again, push the pass rusher out, push them around like this. Ben pumps, rolls to the right, pass rusher's over here now, bam. And that's what happened. So I'm not really going to put that sack on a lack of him being able to block, but unfortunately, you know, that's how I was going to fall. So, but that's my thoughts, man. let's get to the phone calls, man. And I said I wasn't going to be so long, but I guess it's hard to condense some of this stuff when you guys want to hear my opinion. But like I said, man, we're at about 50 minutes, and we're gonna get phone calls in. So that's definitely what this show is for. So let me pull up the queue and see who's in there. And I want to hear what you guys have to say. We have 4 calls in the queue. Listen, y'all know the routine, man. For any of you guys who are new, keep it short. And when I mean short, I'm like 2 minutes or less. I ain't gonna cut you off at 30 seconds and none of that. I give you a solid. You should be able to say a lot in 2 minutes. But the reason why we have to keep them short is because, again, I am anticipating as we continue to grow, one day there's going to be a bunch of calls in here. And I want to get to everyone. I don't want to have to say, hey, sorry, I'm going to have to get you next time. So let's be mindful of everyone's time, and I will do the same with my replies. I will be quick and precise and take the call. So let's get into it, man. First up, we have area code 330. What you got for us?
Yo, what's up, Sam?
Nothing much. What's going on, man?
Did you check? Pretty good. I was listening to the Tomlin's press conference earlier today, and I found out they actually, in that game, only blitzed 2% of the time on defense, and they got that type of pressure. Now, corners still need some work. I've seen some blown coverages that we looked up on, but they're young guys, they gotta, get underneath their feet. It's only the first game. I'm not gonna pass judgment on our team until probably like the 4th game. That'll let me know what we have and what we don't. So far, like what I see, offensive line needs a little bit more work, but Ben has played with lesser. So that's all I wanted to say, and, here's your thoughts.
Man, definitely appreciate the call. And, man, my man Deron, good timing on the call right there. You got a lot in a short amount of time. Appreciate that. So let me do the same for you guys. Yes, 4-man pressure. We talked about it post-game. That's why I kind of didn't get into it tonight, but I'm glad you brought that up because, man, let me tell y'all something, man. Cam Haywood, man, that's all I'm going to say. Cam was causing fits all game, bro. And that boy, Melvin Ingram, Lord have mercy. Man, listen, if we are getting that type of pressure weekly, it's going to be tough for our opponents. Let's just say that. It's going to be tough. Melvin Ingram and Highsmith, yeah, and TJ, they was all eating out there. Yeah, Cam Hayward, mercy. All right, let's move on, man. Area code 803. This is our good buddy, Mr. Winningham. How you doing tonight, sir?
Hey, good evening. I'm glad football was back. I watched so much football this weekend, I was dead tired Monday. But, like he said, the offensive line, Ben has done more with less. Super Bowl 43 offensive line was probably the worst offensive line that ever won a Super Bowl. I mean, they were very, But, by midseason, I feel that this offensive line will gel, especially with the return of Zach Banner. I'm hoping that when Zach Banner returns, Najee Harris will be getting those big gaping holes by then. Now, I don't know what's the situation on Josh Jacobs of the Raiders. I don't know whether he's going to play Sunday. If he doesn't, it'll play right into our hands, much like Buffalo, because I'm not very threatened by the backup running back used to play for the Cardinals and the Dolphins. But I feel Drake. Our defense will do well. Yeah. Now, one point I want to make, I have to give it to Ulysses Gilbert III. He's a guy that can't stay healthy year for year, and he came up big when we most needed him Sunday. I could imagine with a guy with his athleticism we could use to potentially go up against a guy like Darren Waller. But I'm very impressed. We're winning the hostile territory, and we won the game. But Sunday, we need to get the offense moving better. That means Ben, don't overthrow Najee Harris. He's 6'2", not 7 foot. And let's get this thing for next week. Thank you so much.
No problem at all. Thank you so much, sir. You know, we always respect your call. We love to hear your voice. And I think so too, man. I'll comment on that. I think the offensive line just might gel. The difference is, just think about the guys that we didn't like on our offensive line in years past. We usually didn't see no potential in some of these dudes. You know, at least with Kendrick Green, I could see what he could be. Again, he might end up being a Marquise Pouncey, and we'll just have to live with that in terms of sometimes he might get overpowered because of his stature and all of that. But if he can be Marquise for the most part, with that tenacity, I'm cool with it. I still like what Kevin Dawson brings to the table, and I like what Dan Moore looks like he might be able to bring to the table. Trey Turner, we'll see. And Chooks, we already know. I mean, excuse me, maybe if Banner can come back, hopefully Banner, I don't know. I'm starting to get nervous with Banner, man, because of the injuries, but we shall see. Moving on, area code 678. What you got for us?
Hey, thanks a lot, Sim, for taking my phone call. Appreciate it.
No problem.
I think yourself, as well as my brother and I, we were saying that this year we're going to need a lot out of the rookies that we just drafted. And in week one, I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, our offensive line, as you mentioned, you know, Buffalo has a very solid defensive line. They have experience on that defensive line, too. We have a rookie at center, we have a rookie at left tackle. And, of course, you know, going up against professionals, they already have game experience and learned some new things. You know, they lost some battles, but they were never losing the majority of the battles. And that's what you wanted out of your rookies. You want them to, you know, the spotlight not to be too big. And I was pleased with that. I was pleased with the halftime adjustments that Mike Tomlin made. I feel as though the second half, the running game, like you had mentioned, the first half it wasn't looking that good, but in the second half, we started seeing that some glimpses of what it's going to look like in the future. But for the most part, though, you know, the Pittsburgh Steelers were chosen to lose that game. Buffalo, they're Super Bowl contenders, and Steelers are going to lose that game. Everybody picked the Steelers to lose, and I love it when they do that. I really do. I think that really gives us the advantage. I kind of figured maybe you and Keenan will probably have Buffalo, and but that's okay though. I mean, you know, like I said once again, since I've been a child, when you underestimate the Steelers, that's when they show up. But once you start giving them like cookies and candy bars, they don't play that well. And then, no, one more thing. I want to say this. I said it before. Cleveland's overrated, so unless you give them a game, they don't know how to win. You know, they just don't know how to win. They the same old Browns, and you know, I just wanted to put that out there. If you don't snap the ball over your head or give them some interceptions, they don't know how to just line up and go 4 quarters and go win a game. Most of the time, somebody will help them out along the way. They're not that good. I like a lot of their players, Nick Chubb and all like that, but you know, brand names on teams really don't mean nothing to me.
2-minute warning.
And a whole bunch of stuff to go into it. But thank you for taking my call. I'm sorry I got a little winded at the end there. I apologize.
No problem, man. Thanks for calling. One thing I'll comment on really fast, and then I'll get to another point. Yeah, man, Cleveland, I'll just say this. I really like Nick Chubb a lot. But Nick Chubb, you got to stop fumbling that football, brother. You got to fix that, bro. You just got to fix that. If you want to continue to be one of the premier running back, because you nice, but you got to stop fumbling that football. My goodness. It's good to see the rookies play too, man. I'm right there with you, and I think you said your brother said it too. I'm right there with you guys, man, because we are seeing the future. And if they're playing now, and we got to start thinking about the Steelers down the road. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if this is Ben's last year, it's important that we get some of these rookies and throw them in game action right now. Najee Harris is going to be important for us. Freiermuth is going to be important for us. Kendrick Green will be important for us unless, they go center again next year or what have you. And Dan Moore has a chance to make a name for himself. So, a guy like Trey Norwood, this could be the season that he needs to get seasoned, and maybe we mess around and get a Swiss Army knife, as Tomlin calls them. So it's good to see them dudes play, and they're not doing so bad so far. We'll see. Real quick, guys, I got to stop myself because there was a donation. There's two of them, actually. The first one, round of applause to Charter 04. Charter 04. I'm thinking about a guy that I know from YouTube that does Madden sliders. Captain Spartan 04. He says, don't know if you saw last night Manning Monday Night Cast, but did you see them say that halftime adjustments are a thing? I know last Sunday you gave some credit to Tomlin, not saying Tomlin is bad. You know what's funny? To some degree, I do agree with that. Because actually, Tomlin a lot of times says, look, we didn't really do anything different. We just executed better. How many times have we heard that? And Ben has said that. So there may be some truth to that, to be honest. I think sometimes it's results driven. Like, we think adjustments were made. And sometimes you can see the adjustments. But I think a lot of times, man, it's really just continuing to execute or continuing with the plan and executing better. C. Antoine Hill as well says, Sim, your thoughts on Colbert and UNC this early? You already know. Kenyon could answer that for me. Yeah, I know who you looking at. Same guy we looking at. And those are my thoughts. Let's go to the next caller, man. We have about 17 minutes left in the show, so I want to get the rest of these calls in. Next up is area code 609. What you got for us?
What's going on, SimFBallCritic?
What's good, man?
No much, man. Let me see. Let me start with the offense, man. Yo, I like Matt Canada already, man. Much better than Randy Fiedman. Much better. You know what I mean? It's like every snap on the offense, it was always somebody moving. I always liked it when the offensive line was like moved somewhere else. And then there was like a motion afterwards, getting the defense off sync and stuff. And it's just like you said, the potential in this offense, man. Once Ben, hangs it up, what I mean. It's gonna be good. You know what I mean. It's a bright future ahead of us. And then defensively, man, T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward, Melvin Ingram, and hopefully Stephon Tuitt. When he come back, if he started this game, I think we'd have more sacks because all three of them, everybody was balling. You know what I'm saying? And looking forward to next week, man. I think we can eat on Las Vegas. You know what I mean? I only thing I'm scared about is only that somewhere their defensive line gets our inexperienced offensive line, and the only thing I'm scared about as well is Darren Waller. That's all I'm worried about. Who's gonna cover him? But that's all I got to say, and let me know what you think about what I said, and have a good night.
Man, thank you for the call. Of course. Yes, I agree. Matt Canada so far, man. And let's be fair and say this, because I know, again, sometimes you have fans that are highlight watchers, and they don't, and I'm not making fun. I'm just saying they don't look at the intricate details and things like that, and some people would say, I didn't see any differences. No, there was differences. There was a few different play calls, formation, a couple times even personnel. I mean, look, splitting Najee Harris out, which I know we have the running back to do it more now, but a lot of little things like that, man, little wrinkles. Even the wrinkles in how we threw those wide receiver screens was a little different in terms of the blocking. And the shifting and motion, like you saw it. Like I said on, the post-game show, there was a time when Dan Moore was on the right side, and then they shifted him. Remember that video I showed a few months ago about him in college and how the guys continue to shift and move? I think we might see a whole lot of that throughout the season, and I like it. And I actually like him being up in the sky. better perspective to see everything. So those are my thoughts there, man. Those are my thoughts. So let's continue to move, guys. We got 3 more calls. Next up is area code 864. What you got for us?
Hey, Sims, how you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. Hey, I just want to get this out there from the jump. Dan Moore is going to be a beast, man. That brother going to be a beast, I'm telling you. I think what happened on that time when the guy got around him, he thought Ben had released the ball. When Ben did the pump fake, he thought Ben had released the ball, so he just assumed that, the play was over.
Mm-hmm.
But Ben just going to have to stress linemen that, I love the pump fake. So you guys going to have to hold your block. Sometimes you might think it's gone, but it's not, So that's just something that Ben can, communication with Ben and his linemen, they'll get that corrected. The guy, the number 76, man, I mean, I'm not trying to question the brother, man, but number 76 is just soft, man. I mean, I just hate to say it, man. He's just soft, man. You see him on run plays, he'll run out there, and he'll touch the guys. He won't even try to engage them and get, he just touched the guys. He just soft. But he has all the physical attributes that you need to offensive tackle to be, but he just soft. But one more thing I just wanted to get across to inside linebackers. I know a lot of times we was in dimes, and I think a lot of times we didn't even have inside linebackers, and we got gashed with the run a couple times. But I noticed when our inside linebackers are in there, they run up into the line and they engage it with a blocker, and they don't, they can't see, or they don't try to find where the ball is going. So I think some drills and practice to learn to get the inside linebackers on how to shed your block, hold your position, find the ball, shed the block, and go to the ball, fly to the ball. When we get that corrected, we're going to start shedding down that run. Secondary is already shut down city. This defense is going to be awesome. It could be a legendary defense, I'm thinking. They are very good. But that's all I got for tonight, bro. I just want to run that cross. That's all.
Man, no problem. You're very welcome, brother. Appreciate you as well. Thanks for the call. And some people are gonna jump on you by saying, "Oh, he talking legendary." But you know what? I'm gonna stick with you in this regard. If we're fair about it, that secondary played better than I expected, man. I'm what I kept saying when I picked the Bills to win. I was like, man, I don't know the corner situation. We haven't seen Sutton on the outside, for a long amount of time, and it'll be Pierre's first real action, and he might get lined up against Diggs, and who we gonna play at nickel, and man, Butler and Tomlin put a plan together, and that secondary was, like I said, man. Even when they gave up catches, for the most part, they tackled the catch. Was there a couple busts in the secondary? Yeah, but it happens, man. It's going to happen. It's the NFL, and you playing against other professionals. Like, that play that they should have hit, they should have hit to Samuels. Overthrown ball. Those things are going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, let's keep watching. Because the other caller before you also said, look, Tua won't even out there. And we know what type of player Tua can be. So we might be looking at something crazy, man. It might end up being better than what we saw last year. I don't know if it would be. I'm just saying. I ain't mad at you for feeling that way. We shall see. But all right, guys, we got 10 minutes left in the show with 2 calls left. So let's get these calls in. Area code 4112. What you got for us?
Hey, Tim. This is Eric Rivera, and thanks for taking my call.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so I just want to talk about, I was watching the game, by the way, some of the game because I was working, and then I was just thinking about Kendrick Green, the way I know he's finishing like the plays. So I saw this play early in the game that I don't remember who was it. It was a receiver or it was one of the running backs. But some of the guys, he was running to the right side, and then when I see the end, the guy who comes and grabs him from the floor, from the grass, it was him. And I'm wondering, what is this guy doing from all the way, from the center all the way to the corner, right, at the same timing? And it's because obviously he's like taking his block and finishing it all the way out. And also I want to say what you say already about Sudan. He's playing pretty well as a corner. I saw some of the highlights, and then I'm pretty happy that he got a chance. He played pretty well, and that's all. Same.
Hey, man, I thank you for calling. I think you sound like a new caller, so I appreciate that. If you are new, I see that 412. So, I always give special love to those who live in or in the Pittsburgh area, because, I live in PA, but I don't live in Pittsburgh. And we're talking about your Pittsburgh Steelers. So always a special shout out to those in the 412 area. Yes, I agree with what you said. Listen, man, Kendrick Green, like I said, he has a few warts. Nobody's perfect, but that dude's motor, tenacity, the way he intends to finish, where he ends up after the play, sky's the limit for him, man. We just Clem is going to have to find a way to reel him in and get the best out of what he can do at all times. And I think Kendrick Green might be a special one, man. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to make any declarations on him just yet, but I'm saying I'm not overly concerned yet. Even with his with his inefficiencies, I'm not concerned yet. He has more positive in my opinion than negative, and I think that negative, I think there are some techniques that maybe he'll be able to develop that allows a better base and anchor to anticipate power. So we'll see. But thanks for your call, man. And yeah, Sutton was all over the place, man. Sutton had a great game. He really did. He really did. Last call of the night, area code 443. What you got for us? Hello, 443.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What you got for us?
Oh, sorry. I'm CJ. I'm from Annapolis, Maryland, and I'm a huge Steelers fan. So I'm going to piggyback off what you said about that offensive line. I was watching the Mike Tomlin show, his press conference today, and he said something that was very interesting. He said that none of those young guys, got offensive penalties. He said he was prepared to go into the game, with the hostile environment, ready to get some 3 and 8, off of 3 and 2, prepared to have a 1 and 15. But he said none of those guys, in a hostile environment, created penalties, which I thought was awesome, which was great. So just the mentality right there should tell you, how that offensive line, even though they're young, a young group, the mentality of the playoffs and, as the season progressed and, even going on a playoff run and hopefully a Super Bowl, like that mentality right there of going into a hostile environment, that's saying something about that young group. And hopefully, the running game can get better, which I think Najee will catch his stride. I think he probably had like the jitters of, being in a real NFL game. But as you see later on, he got better because I think he settled down a little bit. So I'm curious to see how he do in this Oakland game, which gave up some big runs.
Yeah, they did.
To the kid, from Baltimore. So I think Najee, he could be due for a big game this go around. And I'm a huge fan, and I just want to say thank you for letting me call in, and appreciate that.
Man, absolutely. Thank you for calling, man. Again, I think another new call. My bad. I didn't catch your name, but I did hear you say you were from Annapolis. I always give it up to the DMV area. A lot of people know my story, man. I'm originally from Richmond, Virginia. I moved to the Maryland, D.C. area, lived in Silver Spring for quite a long time, and then moved to Pennsylvania, where I've been for another decent amount of time, where my new family has started. My wife, my son, her mom is here. Leonard, my father-in-law, is here. Her brother, her sister, so Pittsburgh is home now and will be. But I always show love to the DMV, man, because, I had a lot of moments out there. especially when I was a single man. My man knows all about the DMV if he's from Annapolis. But yeah, man, again, you brought up a great point, and I appreciate, see, this is why I love you guys, man, and we're family, because you guys will bring up stuff that maybe was on my mind, I meant to talk about or forgot about. That is a huge point, what you said, and Tomlin did point that out. None of the rookies got penalties, man. No false starts, no holding. You know, the false start happened with your homeboy, a guy. Kevin Dotson had a false start. Juju had a false start. And like you said, on 4-4-3, they went into Buffalo with Bills Mafia. And that crowd, and another thing Tomlin said to add to that, Ben even said this, that they talked about the difference in crowd noise from like 100,000 college versus say 60 to 70,000 pro, totally different. Ben even said the same thing, that Pat Fryermuth basically leaned over to him, was like, yo, the noise is crazy. So that adds to my man's point there, where he said, you know, he noticed that Tomlin said none of the rookies got penalties, and that is definitely a good thing to see, because it shows you, they show some poise. And like you said, man, if we make a playoff run or Super Bowl run or what have you, maybe that's a sign of showing us that they won't get rattled. That is a great sign, especially Kendrick Green, with him being, you know, he basically being a high temperament type of guy. And no penalties. So hopefully that continues, man, because we've seen our share of that, right? Of our offensive line having ridiculous penalties at the wrong time. So great stuff. Great stuff. And what's going on over here in the chat, man? I see y'all going back and forth. Y'all done poked the bear, man. Y'all done poked Kenyon. It's never good. But yeah, man, like my man Brent Fox is saying, just keep it positive and clean, man. You know, it's all good. Everybody can share their different opinions and banter and all of that. And I'll say this too, even though I don't know the full spectrum of the conversation, but I will say, you know, if somebody is in here trolling, like, come on, man, we get out of here. There's no place for that. You know, this is not what we do here. And you know, if you want to do that and I recognize and identify it as trolling, I will simply block you, because I personally don't care about just views. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I mean, if I'm on YouTube, of course I want to grow, but not like that. You know, I want to keep this environment the way I've built it, and I would rather weed out the nonsense. You can be a fan of another team. You can even come in here and talk a little junk. You know, we're all grown men and women. It's fun, but the trolling stuff, we ain't doing that. We're not doing that. And really quick, I'm about to wrap up, but I will just say that those of you that are on Blog Talk, I'm about to go ahead and disconnect that now, because it's going to cut off in 90 seconds anyway. So I'll still remain on for maybe another 2 or 3 minutes and read a few chats, and then we'll be out of here. So I'm going to cut off Blog Talk right now. And
90 seconds.
Let's cut that off. Let me read a couple chats and we'll wrap up. What y'all got? Don't do that, 007. Don't name call, man. Be nice. Yeah, Speed, like I said, listen, I don't know what you're saying and what you're not saying. You know, I tend to lean on my normal viewers. None of us are emotional, you know. So if these guys are saying that, then, you know, maybe something you're doing is outside of the norm. Like I said, I didn't see the conversation, but you know, you're welcome to be here and comment. But just, you know, let's just keep it respectful, because if not, then like I said, you know, I will definitely send you on your merry way. Don't take that personal, but I have an environment that I want to keep here, and that's just how it's going to be. Dietrich Bundy says, secondary played very well. They will only get better. Witherspoon may be a sneaky good pickup in time. Man, that's the one thing we haven't talked about. What about Witherspoon? Carl Joseph? Like, dog, if you are somebody like me that was kind of wondering what we were doing in the secondary, I don't know what to say now, because we got some options, bro. Like, we got capable guys that's not even playing yet. And how are they going to fit into the rotation, or are they? Are the guys who are currently out there, are they not going to give up that seat? You know what I'm saying? Like, is Norwood going to do enough to be like, nah, I got it? We'll see, man. We'll see. But now we done messed around. We look decent against Josh Allen and the boys. Let's see if it continues. And if it does, we got options out there, man. And that is a very good thing to see. C. Antoine Hill says, yes, I know, Sim. I'm creating him now to start him at QB1 all year in Madden. He says, what did he say? I'm tired of playing with Ben. Love him, but it's time to move on. Yeah, man, listen, Ben has, honestly, let's be honest, guys. And even Tomlin said this. Ben has seen more seasons than he's gonna see. It's about that time. I'm always gonna love Ben, but yeah, it's time for us to start planning for the next phase. Oh man, he called Ben trash. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, listen, man. Like I've always said, Ben Roethlisberger has put up the numbers. He has 2 Super Bowls. Does he make some wild throws sometimes? Sure. So did Brett Favre. Ben is by no means trash. I'm sorry. And if you are still a fan, I don't think you could come away with saying that. You might say it's time for him to go. Maybe it's time to move on, but you cannot say that man is trash. And if that's your opinion, cool. But just leave it at that. There's no need to go back and forth with that because we are Steelers fans over here. There's no point of us talking about all of that right now during the current season. Like, for what? What difference does that make? Now, if Ben starts stinking it up the rest of the season, then we could say, oh, yeah. But, I mean, listen, Ben only threw 10, and I say only 10 because Ben normally was throwing plus 10 interceptions. Ben only threw 10 picks last year. Some of them was tip balls. He took care of the ball, still put up numbers, still put up 33 touchdowns. You got to go somewhere with the trash talk, bro. Y Diggy says the line did get better over the course of the game, which is encouraging. Ben and DJ can seem to get on the same page. DJ whipped White on a play, but Ben did look his way, would have been a touchdown. Speaking of that, remember I always said, see, that's why he's in my thumbnail. Deontay Johnson, guys, remember I kept saying, and I keep saying that he's our number 1 receiver. He's the dude that beats people off the line, bro. Remember the play he got held on? And homeboy was playing him tight. Got right past him. Deontay is a problem, bro. And if he get his hands together, look out. Miss Debbie said, this is what started it. Speed called Ben trash, and he's a Steelers fan. Yeah, you got, come on, man. How do you do that and you're a current fan? Like, come on, man. And again, I'm going to be fair to you. I don't know the whole spectrum of the conversation, so I won't jump on you. But like I said, it's people in this chat that I trust their opinion. I know they're not emotional. They ain't just going to say somebody's a troll for no reason. Like I said, we build a culture over here. Great. Good. I'm glad you are a fan. I'm just saying, don't curse the team, man. Let's not talk about the guy who's currently running the team, man. I believe in all that. Don't curse him, man. Don't do that. But all right, man, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, man. I told the lady that I would be done at 9, and guess what? It's 9:04, so that means I have to wrap it up. One more. Real Fact says he's not a Steelers fan, Debs. He's an AB fan. That's why he attacking Ben. Okay, maybe. Okay, one last one. Miss Sade, how you doing this evening? I don't think I spoke to you earlier. I didn't see you, but I'm glad I saw you. So all the ladies, for the most part, are accounted for. You say, Ben is old and slow, but he isn't trash. He still has something in the tank. Yeah, that's all. I don't need to do all that, Speed. Listen, like I said, I'm not attacking you, man. It ain't about how long you've been a subscriber or none of that. I'm just saying, what's the point? What's the point of talking Ben is trash now? Like, what does it do for anybody? It just, that's all I'm saying. You're welcome to have your opinion, but it's like, all right, you said it, but then having all of the back and forth, it ain't no point, guys. Let's rock with who's on the team right now. And like I said, if Ben stinks it up in the next 6-7 games, we'll revisit it. But it ain't no need talking about that right now. That's all I'm saying. But all right, guys, I'm out of here. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Let's get ready for some more football. Watch on Thursday like I will be doing. Watch some college football if you're into that. You know Kenyon will be all into that. I'll try to catch a few games as well, do some pre-early scouting. And then Sunday, the Raiders, man. And I'll be back. Which day will I do the pregame show? It's probably going to be Saturday. Yeah. Well, it might be Friday. We'll see. I don't know for sure yet. And y'all know that's the only show that I can't commit to a time. But be on the lookout. That's why you need to subscribe. Here you go, right here. Y'all need a reminder. Subscribe. Turn on the notifications so you know when we live. But either way, I'll be back Friday or Saturday for the pregame, and then following the game on Sunday, postgame show. All right, out of here. Love you guys, man. Y'all stay safe, be good, and for the members, a replay or a recording of this will be on members only. So if you want to go back and watch that with no commercials, please do. And actually, if some of you guys do that, let me know and make sure that it's not showing any ads or anything. It shouldn't be. But just to confirm that. And again, send me an email. You know, let me know what type of things you want to see or what type of things you expect to be able to see as a member of the channel. And I will definitely oblige because, listen, no need of me earning your membership if I don't give you something special, right? But all right, man, y'all be good. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Good night. And, of course, thank you for tuning in to Terrible Towel Tuesday. Oh, really quick, Still City Film Room. Thank you for the shout out on Twitter, man, promoting the show. That's what I'm talking about. That's a real loyal family member, if you will. But all right, man, catch y'all later. Peace.